Recently, the under-17s won the European Championship.
Yeah.
Does that put more pressure on this new group of players to perform as well as they did?
No, I don't put any added pressure on them as far as I'm concerned. I think if anything, they'll aspire to probably, to perform as well as they can. We take each player, each group on their own merits, and as far as we're concerned, we'll be no different from the objectives of this group, from every other group that we've run for the last 7 or 8 years, which is to try and qualify again for European finals. That's the first sort of test we've got to have, and then hopefully we can go on to bigger and better things as a result of that. But no, I think, as I said, it was something for them really to emulate possibly.
Do you think now, obviously, at this age group being under-17 champions, do you think other teams are going to raise the game against England, knowing that they can kind of get the scalp of beating the European champions?
I think it does raise the profile, definitely, and obviously Spain have been the ones over the many years that everybody's tried to emulate and try and beat, and I'm sure as us being European champions, that there'll be a scalp there for somebody, but. It's a different age group, and obviously, we have to move on from last year, and it was fantastic having that achievement, and everybody's, really proud, I think, of what we did. But as far as I'm concerned, this is a new group and something new and positive to look forward for the coming season.
Obviously, like you say, you've got a new group of players now, and with the old boys moving on a bit, has it galvanised these new lads coming through, wanting to emulate them and want to go on and succeed where the others have?
I think so. I mean, I think we picked up the accolades last year, and I think there was a lot of positive vibes, I think, throughout the country. That we did as well as we did. I think it's been long overdue. We've been close, knocking on the door for several years, but I think it will, hopefully develop these players further to say, well, look, getting to European finals and winning it is something that we'd all like to achieve. But more importantly, I think we're looking at their development individually and collectively. It's important how they do this week, and important really that they have a good season. And as I said, getting to the major tournaments to test their footballing knowledge, understanding, and challenge them against the best players in Europe.
In terms of, obviously, off the back of a disappointing World Cup and the call for younger players to come through, and the likes of Jack Wilshere being in the last squad,
yeah.
Have you noticed a change of mentality with the players, thinking that they may be actually a step closer to that senior squad than they once thought they were a few years ago?
I think all the best players, if they're good enough, I think they'll get the opportunity and the chance. And I think it's refreshing to see that the group that we just won the European finals, I think 9 of them are included in the squad for next week with the under-19. So they're getting a chance to promote themselves and push themselves forward. Great that we saw Jack Wilshere, a week or two ago, playing his first international cap at Wembley, and it's about the opportunity. I think if they're good enough, they'll get the opportunity, and that'll be no different back at the clubs. If they're good enough and competing against the best players in Europe and the world, hopefully they'll get that opportunity to perform on a big stage, and I think they'd all aspire to wanting to be doing that. So the chance is there for them.